Right. So just to kind of, let's get the second half over with. And then I don't see y'all tomorrow. I don't think I see you on Monday. But then on Tuesday, I'll take your exam at 9. Okay? When you do show up for that exam, I know a lot of times people just want to like leave early, but it is a regular school day, so you can't do that. So if you have a pass from another teacher and they say, I don't mind if so-and-so comes when they finish their exam, I'll honor that kind of stuff, but I can't like just send you away because you don't have a 4th or you don't have a 6th or whatever. Okay? So go ahead and turn to where we left off yesterday. We worked all the way through kind of 15, 16, so we're going to start on 17. Your law of sines and cosines are right here on your sheet. And then you should remember that law of sines, you have to have partners to be able to use that. So I'm going to put here, you must have partners. And so what I mean by that is you have to know like big A and little a. Or you could know big B and little b, or big C and little c, but you have to have matching big and little for you to use law of sines. Okay? Then if you can't use law of sines, then law of cosines is your only other option. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at number 17. Can you tell me if that one will be law of sines or law of cosine? You can plug in that here. There's one right here. Okay, number 17, do you have partners or no? No. Oh, do you? I have a little a and a what? Little a and big A, that means you have partners. So for this one, you could do law of sines. Okay, now go down to number 18. I have a little a, a little b, and a little c. I don't have any partners, then I have to do law of cosines. Okay, so go ahead and pull your law of cosines off of your sheet. Okay, law of cosines is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. Okay, but again, why do I have to use law of cosines, which is kind of the worst formula? Because I don't have the partners that I would need to do law of sines. Okay, then let's just plug those numbers in. So my c is a 4. My a is a 3. My b is a 6. Okay, also keep in mind that if they're little letters, that means they're side links. If they're big letters, that means they're angles. And then remember that when we covered this unit, I would always say this little number. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, and remember, that's how you're going to group them when you put them into the calculator. So do the 4 squared by itself. Then the 3 squared plus 6 squared, and then the 2 times 3 times 6. But you're going to type them in those little 1, 2, 3 groups. So 4 squared we know is 16. 3 squared plus 6 squared is 45. And 2 times 3 times 6 is 36. So let's plug those numbers in. So it's 16 equals 45 minus 36 cosine c. Okay, then y'all know that for me, I don't like the equals 16 on this side. So this is really just a preference, but I'm going to scribble it out and move it across. So now it's an equals 16 over here. Okay, what do I do next? I want to get rid of this 45 from the front, and it's a positive 45. So how can I cancel that out? Thank you. So I'm going to minus the 45 across, which means that I have 36 cosine C. 16 minus 45 gives me negative 29. Okay, what mistake did I just make that's going to affect my final answer if I don't fix it? What type of 36 was it? Negative 36. So just make sure that you keep that right there. Okay, then your next step, you're trying to get rid of the number in front of the cosine. So we're going to divide that negative 36 across. So I have cosine C equals negative 29, negative 36. Now, if you want to, these double negatives can cross out. You don't have to cross them out, but you could if you wanted to. Okay, then my last step, how do I undo the cosine to solve for the angle? Do you remember? Inverse, or the little -1 cosine. So you'll do cos -1 here, cos -1 here. And that'll tell you angle C. So I got 36 degrees. Okay. Now, if you want to, on your triangle for this one, if you're asked to solve the triangle, that means you need to have all three sides and all three angles. So I know that my corner C is at 36 degrees. Then you should also know that side C has to be across the triangle from that. So if this is big C, then this is little c, which they already told me is 4. Now, when I go on to pick another angle to solve for, will I have to use law of cosines again? No, because now I have what? I have an angle and a side that match. I have partners. So now I can do law of sines. So let's say that we want to solve for A, and my little a is a 3. So I'm going to start with my partners. So I have sine 36 over little c is 4 equal to sine big A over little a is 3. And then if you want to write on here, this is law of sines. Okay, which is the one where you have to have partners to use it. Okay, then from there, you're just going to cross multiply. So 4 times sine A is just going to stay a 4 sine A. And then sine 36 times 3, I'm just typing that in right here. Okay. Also, when you type that in, make sure you close the 36 before you put the times 3. Do y'all have your reason? Period. Okay, then make sure you're in the right mode. I got 1.763. Next step, I'm going to divide that 4 out the way. Okay, remember, you don't actually have to divide it. You can just leave it as a fraction here, because then what's the next step? To get rid of the sign, you'll do the second sign. Okay. So second sign on 176 divided by 4, that gives me 26 degrees. Okay, now, quick question. I already had all 3 sides. I need all 3 angles, but I already have 2 of them. Do I have to do another long, complicated problem to get the last angle? No, because what do all 3 of them add up to? 180. So if I know that C is 36 and A is 26, then my B will be 180 minus those. So I'll do 180 minus 26 minus 36. That means B is 118. Okay. And out of all the things on the semester exam, I'd say this is one thing that's maybe a little bit harder, because you have to kind of remember how to use the different formulas. Okay. Go ahead and turn the page. Okay, go down to number 20. Or actually, never mind. Let's do 19 instead. Okay, 19. First question. Do you have partners or no? Okay, no. Then is it law of sines or law of cosines? Cosines. Girls, we ready? Okay. And then I'm not going to do that, but I just want to make sure you know which one you're supposed to be using. Okay, go down to number 20. Do we have partners or no partners for number 20? No partners. Now, question. Up here, okay, not only do I not have partners, but I don't have a way of getting partners. Come down to this one. I want you to look at it a little bit closer. I know this side, which is little c. Is there a way for me to know big C? Yes. Yes. Then I could do law of sines here if I just find this top angle. I think law of sines is easier, so that's how I'm going to do it. So minus these two in your calculator out of 180 to know this third angle. So it'd be 180 minus 42 minus 75. That gives me 63. And then now we have partners that we can do law of sines. So it'll be sine 63. And you don't have to write these names on it. It's really just to help you. So it'd be sine 63 over 22 equals. And then since I'm having to solve the whole triangle anyways, it doesn't matter if you find A or B first, just pick one. So let's say that I wanted to find A, then I'd do sine of big A, which is 42, over little a, which I don't know. And then cross multiply. So sine 63 times A is a sine 63 times A. But then that other diagonal, I'm going to actually times it out in my calculator. So it'd be 22 times sine 42. Okay, from here, question. Do I inverse sine to get the A alone? No, I got to divide the whole sine 63 across. Remember, you're only going to inverse sine if you're trying to solve for a capital and the sine or cosine's in the way. But if your A is next to the sine or cosine, you can divide that whole thing across. So divide your sine 63. And that'll give me my answer. So my little side A is 16.5. And then remember, if this is big A here, little a goes across. So your little a would be here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do side B for you, but I'll set it up because the solving is pretty easy. So I'm going to still use the C's that I was given at the beginning. But if I want this to be a little b on the bottom, what do I have to put on top? Little b and big B. And what's big B? 75. So it'd be sine 75 over little b. And then from there, you'll just cross multiply. All right, go ahead and turn the page. Okay, almost done. We're going to just do the pictures on 21, 22, and 23. On your semester exam, I believe the word problems will come with a picture already. Okay, so number 21, it says, you've been assigned the job of measuring a water tower. Climbing makes you dizzy. You want to do the whole job at ground level. So draw yourself a water tower. Okay, and you're over here. All right, first question. How far away does it say you are from the base of the water tower? Okay, very good. So 47.3. And then it says the angle of elevation to see the top of the tower is 53 degrees. Okay, now if it's an angle of elevation, remember this is a building. Okay, it's going to be measured 90 degrees from the ground. So if it's an angle of elevation or depression, you can automatically assume that that angle is 90 degrees. So look at your triangle carefully. I don't have partners right now, but could I have partners? Yes. If I find this top angle, then these guys will be partners with each other. Okay? And then you're looking for the height. So if this is little h, maybe I would call that big H. Okay, you could call this T for tower. Then this would be little t, and then just set it up from there. Okay? All right, for the next one, you have a kite on a string. It says the string's out 80 meters. That makes a 55-degree angle with horizontal. And then you're asked to find how tall it is. As of right now, do you already have partners? Yes. Okay, the partners are the 90-degree angle in this corner. And that's already across from the 80 degrees here. Okay, so for both of these, you should be able to do log signs. Also, for both of these, you're not solving the whole triangle. You're just solving for the height of the tower here and then the height of the kite here. Okay, last question. 23, it says Jerry is flying 2 kites at the same time. So here's Jerry. Okay, and he is flying 2 kites. We'll do one of them here, one of them here. Okay, it says he has 320 feet of line out for 1 kite, 390 feet of line out for the other kite. And then it says that the angle between them is 40 degrees. Then it says, what is the distance between the 2 kites? So let's say that's this side right here. So I'm going to call this little a, which would make this big A. Okay, look at your triangle. Do you have partners right now? You got to know it a big and a little that are across from each other. We do not have that. Also, is it a 90-degree angle that we could minus to have partners? No. So this one, you're going to have to do log cosines on. Okay? And then someone in my other classes said, well, how do you know it's not a 90-degree angle? It didn't say angle of elevation or depression. Those are your key words that you're measuring straight up. Okay? All right, we have 2 more questions to do. Go ahead and turn the page. Okay, we're going to do number 24, and then you should be able to do 25 and 26. Okay, give yourself a little grid. Okay, and we are going to sketch the graph of this trig function. Okay, for the sine wave, do you remember if it starts at the top or the middle for the parent graph? For sine, take a guess.
Middle.
Sine starts in the middle, that's correct. So it's going to go like this. Okay, that's your sine graph. For the next one, it's a cosine graph. And your parent graph starts at the top and goes like that. Okay, so if you just want to draw those parent graphs, they're both waves, but where they start in the wave is different. So for number 24, I see a +4 in the parentheses. Will that shift my graph left or right? Okay, left or right if it's a +4? Take a guess. Left is correct. So you're going to start at -4 degrees. Okay, next number we're looking for. is the vertical shift. Are we going up or down if I have a -5 here? -5, up or down? Thank you, down 5. So on your graph, you're going to shift your, it's called the midline, okay, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then draw your midline in. Okay, remember that your sine wave should perfectly be cut in half by that line when we draw it. Okay, which number tells me the amplitude? Hint, it's not the 4 and it's not the 5 because we already used those. It is the 7. Very good. So the 7 is going to tell me how tall the wave is. So I'm going to start at -5. I'm going to go up 7 and then down 7 and mark the top and bottom of my wave. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My top is a 2. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My bottom is a -12. Okay, then from there, remember, it's a sine shape. So you're going to start at the center. You're going to go up, down, up. So center, up, down, down, up for your wave. Okay, just like that. What will my range be? Remember, for range, you want to do lowest, comma, highest. So what's the lowest? Thank you. And the highest is 2. Okay, the last thing that you have to be able to find for this is the period. Remember, the standard period is 360 degrees. Which number that we haven't used changes the period? The 30, very good. So I'm going to box the 30, and I'm going to put that the new period, it always starts with 360. And then if they put a times 30, do you remember you do the reverse? So you're going to really, divide by 30. Okay, and 360 divided by 30 is how many? So your period is 12. Okay. And then if you're wondering if you'll actually have to graph one of these on your semester exam, you won't. The question on your exam is just like 26 down here at the bottom. Yes, sir. That is correct. Which you won't have to know, but we call those the steps. That's exactly right. Okay. So I'm trusting that you can do 25 and 26. Turn to the last page. Okay, the very last thing that we covered in this unit are circles and ellipses. We're just going to do 2 of these and then we're done. So for 27, let's do the first one. Yes? Questions are going to be it's only 20 questions. Is it on paper? It is on paper. Oh. All right, so look at A. Give yourself a little graph here. What will the center be? Okay, -2, 5. So go left 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from there, I'm going to write the center down here. It was -2, 5. What's the radius going to be? 9. Square root of 9, which is 3. Very good. So I'm going to start at that center dot, and I'm going to go 3, 3, 3, 3, and then draw my circle. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect since you don't really have a graph of it. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 3, and then just do your best, Okay, the one disadvantage to your test being on paper is that you can't use Desmos. So you'll have to know how to graph them, but there's only one question on this. Okay. So that's circles. We're going to do the ellipse where you have to write the equation, which is number 29. So first thing on 29, can you identify the center, please? Okay, center is 1, 2. Then remember, it'll be an x minus 1, a y minus 2. Remember that they're both squared, and then they have a plus in the middle. Next thing you have to measure is the radius to the side, and then the radius up. So how long is my horizontal radius? How many boxes? 6, then I would put a 36 under that. Okay, then for my y, count your distance up. What's your radius that way? 4, then I'll put what on the bottom of the y's? Great. Okay. Y'all have any questions? Okay. Last thing, remember, your semester exam review is how you get a curve on this semester exam. I've posted the answers to Schoology, okay, but I'm not going to post all of the work on it because I don't want you to just copy it. So if you just copy all the rest of the questions, you don't get the curve for that. Okay, so use it to check your work. If you need help, please ask me, but you have the rest of class to finish. If you bring your semester exam review with you on Tuesday, that's the last time I see you. It has to be done before you take your exam. And the reason why is because I'm going to mark it off while you're taking the test. So you can't take the exam and then do the review after. You'd have to already have it done. So you have an hour. So let's see what we can get done. Obviously, you have the weekend, but on Tuesday, if your review's finished, you'll take it at the beginning. Yes. Let me, I don't know. The one on the test in the picture, and you're picking which one's correct. You're not writing it yourself, but you'll have clues.
And also, on exam, that's gonna be a thing that they said. How or whatever.
Yeah.
Like perhaps if we were like.
I was
not, that is not Friday.
No. Wow, you don't have to give me a piece off the table, but I will eat. No, you eat it.
Today
Yeah.
the last day of July. And
Okay.
needed to make some balloon like arches for these.
Okay.
And we weren't able to do that one.
That's fine. Will you be able to?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't, you just won't get the curve, but I'm fine with that.
Yes.
You move. Not for you, step down.
Where can I sit?
You can definitely sit there, just that. Hey, Sean, are y'all gonna actually sit in this chair now that we're done?
We might. Oh.
Okay. There's a rolling chair back there. Or sit in the right, there's chairs there. Sit on the one.